Hi guys, this is R.A. Sweeney here to talk to you about another passage from the book Praying with the Book of Praises as part of the Praying with the Bible series. Today I wanted to talk about Psalm 123. And what's really cool about 123 is it's actually part of a group of three psalms that kind of go together in a sort of triad. 123 is the conclusion to the triad, but it's also the only one that has any prayer in it. So you'll notice that in the book, I don't talk about Psalm 121 or 122, just 123. But in that case study, I talk about kind of how all three work together. And so it's these three little poems about just this hope of something better, about this desperation to move past the toil and the hardship and all the misery of the life that we currently live, and to just be rescued from that sort of turmoil and all the bad. Not to be taken out of the world, but just for all those bad things to be removed, so that we can enjoy the world the way that God intended us to. And so in Psalm 121, there's all sorts of language about the psalmist lifting up his eyes and, he's scanning the horizons. He's looking around. I'm hoping that things will get better and that things will change and that I'll be rescued. And so I'm looking around for that hope, and I'm not seeing it. And then in 122, you've got the same sort of language of lifting up the eyes and looking for hope of deliverance from all those things. But this time, the focus is looking toward Jerusalem. This is a Jewish person in probably Judea, maybe in Israel before they split up. But they're looking toward Jerusalem as their hope. Like, well, maybe I can find hope here in God's city and with God's king. But not seeing the hope coming. And finally, in Psalm 123, you have the focus shifts, and instead of I'm looking up and looking around, it's I'm looking up toward God and actually going to God. And that's where we finally see the prayer. And it's I've looked around and I don't see the deliverance that I'm looking for, and I have looked to Jerusalem and I don't see the hope that I'm looking for. But now that I'm finally looking to God, now that I'm coming in prayer, I'm finding that deliverance that I'm looking from. So I just thought that was a really cool way that those three psalms all work together, and how that corresponds to us in our prayer lives. Of, are we coming to God looking for that hope, or are we looking in other places too? So that's what I wrote about for Psalm 123. Hope it was a blessing. Thanks.